So for you, Scorpios, you have the Star, the Page of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. A lot of you Scorpios are very much so hard on yourselves right now. The reason why it is that I'm saying that is because you have the Star, the Page of Cups, these three cards right here immediately, and everything else that I'm seeing. The Star and the Page of Cups represents some of you Scorpios may be seeing yourselves like you were delusional about how it is that you see relationships. See, this is what I'm trying to say. A lot of y'all are getting back down with the whole goofiness that a lot of you see up on the internet. And a lot of you are not really understanding that most of the things that people are saying up on the internet are lies so that they can get clicks. And sometimes, yes, part of it is lies so that they can get clicks, but also it's about them getting you to pay for their courses. And you Scorpios, you got to watch out. This is why, as I said, you got to stop listening to 100% the internet and actually pay attention to what your own spirit is saying, because the Nine of Cups represents other people liking you, but you're looking at it like you've been delusional about this, right? So try not to really get so caught up with this, okay? And then you have the Four of Swords, and okay, the Four of Swords and the Five of Cups. Okay. A lot of you Scorpios are not beating yourselves up. Y'all are coming out of the illusion of thinking that you were less than. Because clearly the Nine of Cups represents a lot of people. Just pay attention, Scorpio, to what is one of the most viewed videos on my own YouTube channel. It's all about how to understand Scorpios. Obviously, people are interested in y'all. Now, to be fair with you, it is partially about, the romantic fun and stuff like this, but people are still interested, nonetheless in that regard, right? But also because people essentially want to know what you're about, right? Because a lot of you play games, right? The Scorpios that are minding their heart and not really onto the eagle or the phoenix. The ones that are Scorpios and spiders, right? Spider being the worst, plays the most games. And a lot of people today, that's following with the trendy, you gotta be fly, you gotta look a certain way, and playing games nowadays, gets people's attention. But the truth is that's actually coming to an end now too. Now it's, if you play games, you got to understand, you got to stop crying about being a pass around and accept the fact that you are a pass around. So now the Four of Swords and the the Five of Cups, all about, since that's the case, you Scorpios are putting to sleep that idea of the way that you used to perceive the world, thinking that you were trash, thinking that you were less than. A lot of you Scorpios are done with that. And now is the Five of Wands. People are not going to be able to tell you that you're worthless anymore and to convince you that you're worthless, because you Scorpios have finally found an element or an aspect of yourself that is worth living for. You realize that the truth lies somewhere in between, in the sense that people will tell you that you're trash because those are the very same people that are scared to be with you. But the safer choice is the games. Look, people are afraid of love. People are afraid of being open and honest with another person and actually allowing themselves to be in a position to be vulnerable, to be hurt. So what does everybody want to do? Everybody wants to paint that. I ain't gonna say absolutely everybody, because I don't do that, clearly. But a lot of people paint the S on their chest, thinking that, they're from the planet Krypton, even though Krypton is actually here on Earth, because there's a part of a state that's called Krypton. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Look, the point is, I go on these things. The Chariot and the Empress now is about, so you Scorpios understand that it's about finding somebody that isn't scared, and that will actually give you the time of the day without having to play the games in the first place. Right. And that it's about someone that is just as serious about getting to know you as you are with them. But it's also not about control. Right. So, because the Chariot represents your ideas of what you are. Slow down for a minute so we can actually explain this, because there's a lot to talk about. You Scorpios are actually understanding that there is no point in trying to run game, because running game can only get you as far as romantic fun. And if that's what it is that you want to do, then be honest about it. But if a person knows, if you Scorpios know that you want to be in a relationship with somebody, then that means that you need to seriously understand what it is that you are doing. You have to actually be vulnerable. And a lot of you Scorpios are able to do that and be honest with who you are and what you want. And guess what's going to happen? Now it's a situation where you have a sense of self-worth. You have self-worth because you realize now that these ideas of what you thought of having to be a player in order to attract what you wanted are actually false. And your mentality, your mind didn't open up until you actually started to have these ideas of yours challenged. The Empress now represents, now when this type of challenge happens to you, when somebody tries to play on you and make it seem like you're not that. Listen, I have way more secret admirers than what they portray, right? I have way more secret admirers than what it is that a lot of people portray, right? Publicly, we'd probably bump heads. Privately, people probably still admire me quite a bit, okay? That's just the conundrum of people and the choices that they make, okay? Including myself. And this is what it is that a lot of you Scorpios are coming to realize, ultimately, that these ideas that a lot of you Scorpios once had about how you perceive relationships. Look, I've said this to some people off camera. I've said this a few times, very few times on camera. Look, it's like this, Scorpio. It's either a person, it's either you've done something seriously disrespectful to somebody, or it's an act. That's it. You've either really crossed somebody's line and you've done something seriously disrespectful, or it's an act. It's them needing to create a narrative for who knows, many different reasons why, so that they can find some. That's my cat trying to get in the door, and successful she is. But it could be because they want your attention and they don't see you giving them attention other than going back and forth with them. It could be, you know, they want to find some reason to dislike you so that they can have because it's not real, but a fabricated justification for them to go off and do their own thing. All of those reasons why. And it can be a combination of those two things at the same time. So a lot of you Scorpios are now, again, the Four of Swords and the Five of Cups. You wish that you knew this. I know I'm going back, but you wish that you would have known this piece of information before. And the Two of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles represents, so the next time you're not confused, you're not bewildered about what's happening. There's a lot going on outside, but you do not have to be confused or be bewildered about what happens to you the next time. When somebody is playing these types of games with you, Scorpio, and they are not trying to get you to feel sure about where you stand with them, the Ten of Pentacles, it means that it's time for you to leave them alone, because it's black and white. Honestly, it's either they're interested and they're trying to get to know you, or they're on the fence. If a person, I mean, my gosh, technically we're all on the fence as we're getting to know the person. I mean, this ideology of thing and not wanting to put any kind of effort in because they don't know if they're really serious about somebody is stupid. If you don't have a prior understanding about an investment, right, and investing in another person, why in the world would you throw all your money into something that you don't particularly understand? You understand what I'm saying? People are not this stupid with their money. So why would they do that with their heart? And this goes to show you, Scorpios, as it is, and I'm talking to you, how stupid it is, the idea that, trying to get comfortable, but the idea that people are not this stupid with their money for the most part. Some people are. But then they are when it comes to trusting somebody. And trusting somebody is even worse than just throwing your money away, because it can lead to just throwing your money away. So you Scorpios have a good footing now. You have a good placement, right? You have a good, strong, foundational, fixed mentality that no matter what it is that someone can interact with you, and no matter how hostile it is, if they're talking about their time is so valuable, but yet they're talking to you, but then you're beneath them, whatever that means, 9 chances out of 10 they like you. But they have to come up with the reason to not like you in the first place. So let's clarify the 10 of Pentacles. So let's clarify the 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, excuse me, Queen of Swords, King of Swords, ooh, and the Page of Pentacles. If things, that's another thing too. 4 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, King of Swords. If things are confusing, right, where things are not clear cut, don't get to know them. Because a lot of people who play games thrive on the idea of relationships being stupid and warped and things not making sense and everything being up in the air. So do not take this type of stuff seriously. The Page of Pentacles represents, because if you do, you will have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what it is about you that you keep getting played when you know what's happening. The Page of Pentacles represents you Scorpios have done something that is starting to become the main now. Universe B is becoming Universe A, meaning that you Scorpios feeling insignificant, people won't give you the time of the day, people playing games with you. Now, right, when you wanted something real, now people are starting to come around to understand the games are stupid. The games went too far. So now, pay attention. If you see, look at it on the internet, see it in real life. Now people are starting to realize that all of these starter husbands, starter wives, playing games, only liking people for their bodies, their money, how good they look, fancy cars and all this other type of stuff. It's starting to make less and less sense to where the only people that pledge allegiance to this, has loyalty to this, are people that everybody else is starting to see, oh yeah, you're broken. And you can't say no to that. You are, because the more we study this, is the more warped it gets. We understand it, but we also understand that a lot of these serious decisions are made with the real stupid, egocentric placement at the center of the storm. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel.